Good morning and welcome. I'm Teddy, and you are listening to Messy Mocha. So I'm going to try to get through about maybe 20 minutes or so of this morning with some music, maybe a little bit of news, as I am still just a little bit under the weather with a head cold. And so sinus pressure can really affect an individual. Okay. So I'd rather, maybe just talk a little bit. And later today, when I come back, probably will be doing a lot better. Yeah, yeah. So, who is joining me this morning out in the bear cave? I see my moderator. Email me at unwinewithteddy@gmail.com. And then someone who is new, Mr. Jackson, P. Jackson, says, Good morning, everyone. Well, good morning. It's always interesting to see a new face and how they found our channel. Okay. So let me do this while I have a little bit of a voice. Let me just run down the maybe 4 or 5 things that you should know on this Tuesday, April 15th. By the way, it's tax day deadline. So if you haven't filed your taxes by midnight tonight, file an extension. So, on to the news. Presidential power. President Trump wants to be able to deport U.S. citizens and imprison them abroad. If it's a homegrown criminal, I have no problem. This is what Trump said on Monday during an Oval Office meeting with El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele, adding that Attorney General Pam Bondi was studying the laws right now. Trump also urged Bukele to build more mega prisons like the country's notorious terrorism confinement center, CECOT, C-E-C-O-T, where deportees are kept in communal cells holding up to 100 men each for 23 and a half hours a day. El Salvador has been offered Trump the option to house deportees of any nationality for free. So, do you mean that Trump would have the power to send to El Salvador even those that aren't from the country? The U.S. is absolutely prohibited from deporting U.S. citizens, whether they are incarcerated or not. Who said this? Let's see. El Salvador has already offered, again, Trump the option, but it's for a fee. Although the president is keen to accept such an offer, it would likely face significant legal pushback. He said he would deport illegal immigrants, and that's what he is doing right now. Okay. On to deportations. Efforts to return a Maryland man to the U.S. after he was mistakenly deported to El Salvador last month hit another serious roadblock on Monday. Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia, a Salvadoran national, is being held in the CECOT mega prison even though an immigration judge barred his deportation years ago. And the Trump administration admitted that the father of 3 was deported due to an administrative error, despite a Supreme Court's ruling saying that the U.S. must facilitate his return. Attorney General Bondi claimed the decision was out of the U.S. hands. That's up to El Salvador if they want to return him, she said. That's not up to us. Asked directly by CNN's Caitlin Collins if he plans to return Abrego Garcia, President Bukele said he has no intentions of doing so. Bukele, how can I smuggle a terrorist into the United States? Of course, I'm not going to do it. The question is preposterous, he said. Harvard University has rejected the Trump administration's demands that it eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion policies, audit the viewpoints of students, faculty, and staff, and alter rules for on campus protests or face major losses of federal funding. In a statement, Harvard President Alan Garber said the university would not surrender its independence or relinquish its constitutional rights. Harvard is what the oldest college, and it was even here before. Uh, let me get the date of it. It's been around for hundreds of years. Harvard. Anyway, they push back. They're not going for the DEI that they have to implement or not implement that. They're moving forward. So let's see. Wow. Harvard was founded in 1636, September 8th, 1636, in Massachusetts Hall, Cambridge, Massachusetts. So Harvard, again, the president rejected Trump's demands. Other universities, I wonder, are they complying? Columbia University in New York was one of the first to be targeted by Trump administration, but on March 7th, the administration announced that $400 million in funding was being pulled from the university due to the school's failure to stop anti-Semitism after protests on campus last year put the national uh, put the college in the national spotlight. Let me go back to this one. Harvard. I'm just kind of scanning. No government, regardless of which party is in power, should dictate what private universities can teach, whom they can admit and hire, and which areas of studies and inquiry they can pursue, he said. The Trump administration responded by freezing $2.2 billion in multi-year grants to the school. Similar punitive actions also have taken place against Princeton, Cornell, and Northwestern. Columbia University was the first higher educational institution to see its funding slashed. And then finally, uh, the arson that occurred at the residence of Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania. Well, authorities are attempting to determine how a suspect was able to enter the governor's residence in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, set it on fire over the weekend without being apprehended. This individual was able to easily defeat multiple layers of defense. This was said by a former U.S. Secret Service agent and security consulate told CNN. First, starting with the perimeter fencing, then the electronic surveillance and detection system, gaining access into the resident and then launching the attack. All while the state police that was providing the protective resources there was unable to locate him. So just imagine he breaches the perimeter, then he breaks out windows, he throws in one Molotov cocktail, and then he goes to another window, breaks that, goes inside, throws, and starts, really combustion of fire there, combustible. His family and another family, by the way, they were safely evacuated from the home, which sustained a significant amount of damage in the blaze. I don't think I showed a picture of it, but this person that authorities have charged, he's 38 years old, Cody Balmer, with attempted homicide, aggravated arson, terrorism, and other crimes. He was denied bail, and a motive for the attack is still unknown. All right, so a little bit more of some relaxing music for this morning, and I will be right back. This one is called Beaches. I'm trying to bring up a story to wrap this up. I don't know if you heard about this Texas based Ghanaian pastor. He reportedly murdered his wife, a transgender, on their honeymoon night. I was trying to pull up her picture, their picture. Hang on for a second. If I have this photograph and just tell you about it. At least this is the picture that they put up alongside the story. Hold on. Okay. This is fair use commentary. Let's see. All right, so there's the picture. Again, this is the picture that is next to this headline from it happened a few days ago. Ghanaian pastor arrested for fatal stabbing of transgender wife in Texas. I heard about this story. A chilling and heartbreaking incident has rocked the Ghanaian community in Texas after Pastor Isaac was arrested for allegedly stabbing his wife, Sandra, more than 40 times, leading to her tragic death. Isaac, who had chosen to follow biblical teachings by abstaining from intimacy until their wedding night, reportedly became enraged upon learning of Sandra's gender identity. What should have been a celebration of their union quickly turned into a violent tragedy. Authorities say the altercation turned deadly when Isaac attacked Sandra with overwhelming force and leaving her with her fatal injuries. What has compounded the shock surrounding the incident is the revelation that some members of Isaac's church were aware of Sandra's transgender status but chose to keep it a secret from him. This has sparked questions within the community about the church's responsibility, with some people wondering whether they should have disclosed the truth to Isaac beforehand. As the investigation continues, many in the Ghanaian community are calling for justice, demanding accountability for this senseless act of violence. Isaac remains in police custody and is facing murder charges. But the full extent of the circumstances leading up to Sandra's death is still under investigation. In the wake of this tragedy, there are growing calls for greater awareness and acceptance of LGBTQ plus individuals within the community. Advocates are stressing the importance of fostering understanding and compassion, hoping that this heartbreaking incident can serve as a wake-up call for change. As the investigation unfolds, the hope is that justice will be served and that this tragedy will prompt conversations that encourage a more inclusive, tolerant society. Again, just tragic. It is. I'm sure there are some people that are going to have, mixed opinions on what had happens, but there's never justification for such violence and taking the life of an individual. It's 9:01. I'm going to end it right here. Love Win says, I'm speechless. Wow. Baby Juju says, yeah. Hope you're feeling better soon, Miss Teddy. I hope so. Yeah. Got a busy day. Again, it's just things to do. All right. Biggest bear hugs go out to the Grizzlies and the Honey Bears. Join me later sometime when I come back for Night Talk. Email me at unwinewithteddy@gmail.com. Okay. Just took a look at an email, caused a pause. Okay. And make sure that you follow me on all social media, especially Station Head. Okay. That's it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Teddy. Have a great Tuesday.